Hello everybody, welcome to Moonlight Ponderings. I'm Ronnie Moonborn.
And I'm Severine Nocturne.
And today is almost like a rehash of one of our previous videos that we have done about a year or so ago.
I would say that it's kind of a bunch of videos we've done before. So we were checking our email and there have been some questions asked of us and we have answered some of them. But they're in a bunch of videos and some of the videos are like hours long or whatever. So I understand how it probably got lost.
So yeah, we're going to just like go ahead and try to answer some of those questions,
Yes.
rehash them, and plus some of our answers might have changed.
Yeah.
Just we've grown and might have different opinions now.
Alright, so first question. How did you come up with the channel name?
Well, I think originally when there was the three of us sat down and we were like, well, what's something we all kind of have in common, and we all view the moon in a certain respect. And so we were like, well, we should do something that incorporates the moon. And then it's like, well, we're going to call it like, it went from like Moonlight Thoughts to Moonlight Discussions. So wait, are we actually doing this during the moon when the moon's out? And
yeah, we've tossed around a lot of names, and at first it was Ponders, and then Firechild suggested actually making it Ponderings.
hi, Firechild.
We miss you, boo. You need to come back over and hang out. Anyway, so that's how we decided the name. We all liked that one. We thought it would be cool. Yeah.
Yep.
So, how did you come up with discover your magical names / aliases?
Mine literally just came to me. I was driving from the mall. And I was like, oh, you know what would sound good? Ronnie Moonborn. Like, it literally was just something that popped in my head. It was not something that was like, oh, it's going to be this to represent this or that. It was just random.
So mine is actually my magical name. I think I've probably talked about before that I used this technique with numerology. So numerology, if you know anything, then basically there's a special number associated with the day you were born and a special number associated with your name. And there's a chart that'll tell you basically each letter represents a certain number, 0 to 9. You add those numbers, and then you basically what you do is you add the numbers and then you add the digits. It's a complicated thing. I've watched Lunar Wisdom's video on how to do it. So if you look up Lunar Wisdom and magical names, it'll tell you how to do it. So the name associated with my birthday and the name associated with my name, or the number associated with my birthday and the number associated with my name is 9. I have a strong connection to the number 9, and so I was like, well, if that's the case, then clearly there's something to it. And so Severine had kind of been one that I was tossing around, and I also really liked the Rhine River. So I was thinking about that, but then that one couldn't find any way to kind of put that in there. And Nocturne came about because I really like music, and so I like musical terms, and Nocturne is a musical term for a piece of music that is about nighttime.
Okay, so I was wondering, I was like, wait, I thought I had to do with night.
Yeah.
Because of nocturnal, you know?
Yeah.
So, okay, so I wasn't wrong.
It's like if you know how if you watch a movie, they'll be like, play the aria or whatever, and it's a nocturne is just a term for this piece that represents a night scene.
Learned something today.
Yeah.
I actually do have a magical name. I just don't choose to disclose it unless it's someone I'm in a circle with.
I have a special magical name I don't disclose either. And it's, names are powerful, so giving someone that name is seen as like giving them power over you in some way. And it's a special name given to me by my deity.
I'm actually going to catch a little bit of hell for this because I have a friend who watches these videos like, you got another name and you've never told me, how dare you? Like, I can see it now.
Well, I mean, it's just, it's not that like I don't think people are trustworthy or anything like that. I know I just said what I said about you giving a person power over you, but it's sort of like if a deity gives you a name or you associate that name, then you should treat it as something special and private between the two of you.
Well, it's also, for the person I'm talking about, just hasn't come up organically. And I'm that type of person, like, for the most part, my conversation has to come up organically, or if I don't think about it, it's just not going to come up, to be honest.
Yeah.
So what's next quiz, Joel?
How long have you been practicing?
I have to think. Hold on. I want to say it's 2010 I started, so 9 years? Yeah.
It'll be 3 years in October for me.
Forget you're such a baby.
Yeah, 3 years in October for me. What specific branch do you fall under? Eclectic, comedic, etc.
Eclectic, definitely. I would say I am very much an eclectic witch.
I am too. I will say that I definitely have fascinations with Celtic and Druidry, and
I would say we follow a lot of Wiccan rules, but we're not Wiccan. Like,
there's a lot of things we like and that I would say we're probably associated with that are Wiccan, but we don't actually like, there's certain things we don't.
I mean, we don't label ourselves like that, but I mean, if I had to say anything I was closest to, it would probably be Wiccan. I'm just not about the Lord and Lady. Like,
I think you should work with what you feel like you should be working with.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it at all either, like, by any means.
I probably ascribe to some Indian things too, like chakras and
bit into chakras.
yeah, so I mean it's kind of
meditation and singing bowls.
That's why eclectic is kind of the better terminology.
And I have a lot of like Greek practice that I do.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's a good old mix. I'll probably find some other things like in my heritage, if I could find that people of my culture had done. I would probably want to incorporate that too, just because it's a part of my history.
Are you out to your families? Are you out to your families? If you are, how did you tell them?
All right, so my answer's gonna be short. No. And you can go ahead.
You want to talk about why?
My parents are ministers, and they just would not understand this. I'm not ashamed of what I am. It's just, I don't think they'd understand. I really don't. And I feel like it would cause more turmoil. And because to me, religion is such a private thing, that like, I don't feel like it's necessary for them to know. Now, granted, yes, I'm on YouTube, so they could very well find out. You're like, oh, but you're on YouTube and you're talking about this. It's more like if it comes out, it comes out. But I'm not really trying to like push it in their face.
Yeah. Well, I mean too, like, things change over time, and you know, people change over time, and maybe at some point you'll feel comfortable, but right now, you do you.
Now your answer.
Okay, so my answer is yes, I am out to my family. And so Oh, the follow-up question to this is also any advice for those who are wanting to tell their family. So I'll answer all of this in one. So, how did I tell them? I thought a long time about it, and I probably spent a couple of months just trying to think about how I was going to approach it, because in my mind, the way my relationship with my family is, it's kind of important that they know things, and it's a big part of my life. And when, to me, for me, and it's not that anybody's wrong for how they view it or whatever, it's for me, for my mental health, for my spiritual health. It's important for me to be able to share with them. And so I think that it was really just that I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was saying was gonna diffuse it from being scary. But honest too, So I just kind of talked to my mom, because I haven't been to church in a while, and she was like, I've noticed that you haven't been making an effort to find a church. And I told her that I didn't plan on it, and I said, I'm on this new journey, and I'm really looking into being a witch. And at the time, I did say that I was Wiccan. And she was kind of fearful of that, just because Christianity tends to kind of demonize us. And I told her, I said, look, that's not what it's about. This is what it's about. And that's my thing. If as far as advice goes, know your stuff if you're going to talk to people. And this is me saying and being honest about a mistake I made. Because later I had to go back to my mom and say, I don't actually consider myself that, and I mislabeled myself. So I actually consider myself pagan. And I explained what it meant. I explained, that I believe that though there's this energy, there's this higher being, but that it's not, and I told her, I said, it's not that I think that you're wrong for believing that it's God, Jesus, and all of that, but that's not what it is for me. And for me, it's this being that is here to guide us, but also here to teach us to become higher beings and better selves.
I just want to touch in on something you said about knowing your stuff. I can't agree more.
Yeah.
And I feel like with any argument, you should know everything that you can for your argument. And I'm not saying it's going to be an argument, but don't go in going, well, yeah, I'm this and this. Well, what does that mean? You need to know so you can tell them, because then you're going to come off like you don't even know what you're talking about. So they're not going to take you seriously.
And they're going to think you're playing games, or you're just, this is a fad. Because there are people that think that. There are people that think when you are not actually serious that you're just going through a phase.
I've had friends, because I do come out to my friends about this. My friends know that I'm pagan. And I've had some of them be like, oh, it's just a fad. Yeah, I did that when I was in middle school. So they tried to demean it by making it sound like it was juvenile, for one, which hurt my feelings. And part of it was because, I didn't have all my facts then. So, I probably did come off that way. But, so be prepared for that, I would say, that they're gonna try to belittle you and make you feel like you're a child because you believe in magic.
And I will say that I can't speak to how every parent is gonna respond, because although my mom was not happy about it, my mom has also been respectful. And my mom has also seen me growing as a person and me being better for doing this. And so whether or not she gets it, she understands that there is a positive from it. And my dad, when I talked to my dad and I told my dad was like, I really don't think it matters how you believe there is a God or how you believe there's anything, as long as you believe in something. Mm-hmm. And he was very chill. And my brother was really chill too. I knew she was going to be the one that was going to have the hardest time. And there have been times that she's said things like, at one point she said, "Did I fail you?" And I had to, you just have to be ready to talk about it. And you just have to be ready to be like, Mom or Dad or whoever, this is what's healthy for me, this is what's better for me, this is what's good for me, and give them examples. Talk about, like, I've talked to my mom long time about my crystal practices, and I've shown her, and she's actually tried to understand. Sometimes she'll ask questions, and then sometimes it's kind of like it might be over her head, or it might be something she's not really into, so she kind of backs off, but
I will say, you mentioned how you were growing as a person. That's one thing I will say, that being a witch, I feel like I have grown so much. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I am a better person.
Yeah. I would agree that that's how, I feel like it's a healthy thing. Mm-hmm. And I think she's seen it. And I think that's probably why it's not a fight. It's not a disagreement, is that she can see that it's having a positive effect. That it's making me, like, she's always been very much, she wants me to be my own person, and, she was a feminist when she was younger, so I think that she sees that what I'm doing is very empowering for women in ways. And so I think that it just kind of, and that's the thing too, if it's the right decision for you, then they're going to see it, and they might not get it. They might on surface not be supportive, but they're going to learn not to fight with you about it. And they're going to learn to accept it and love it for you, I think. I know some people are going to always be fussy, and some people are going to always want to fight. But you got to do what's best for you, ultimately.
I agree. What's the next question?
The next question is, what is something that you would never do? Animal sacrifice.
I agree. In human sacrifice, just
sacrifice.
Anything involving hurting someone to get my goal. I won't say that I won't ever curse anyone, because there's just certain things in life that could happen that could change you. But as of right now, I wouldn't want to curse anyone, I would say.
As of right now, I wouldn't want to curse anyone.
That's not in my general practice. Let's put it like that.
It's not in my general practice. I think it's important.
I wouldn't even know how to go about,
I think it's important to know. But
blood magic makes me uncomfortable. I would probably do it, though, if I felt like it was sanitary.
One other thing I wouldn't do, I would not participate in a random sex ritual with someone that I didn't know well.
No, I'm sorry. A sex ritual would have to be with me and my partner only. Because while I'm okay with casual sex, casual magic, I'm a little more... that's weird. It's like, your standards, sir. But, I mean, like...
Magic is so ingrained in who I am that I feel like...
You shouldn't just practice with anyone.
I wouldn't just practice with anyone, so why would I bring someone into a ritual?
In such an intimate way, too.
In such an intimate way.
Because sex is already a very intimate thing, and you're trusting someone else with your body. And then you're adding your spiritual side to that too. It's just, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, yeah. I probably wouldn't do animal sacrifices. Or I wouldn't. Let me rephrase that. I wouldn't do animal sacrifices. I won't kill anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I would bleed myself, probably, if, like, I truly felt it was necessary for a ritual.
I've used blood before. But
it would have to be so sanitary.
Yeah, you like I'm very, very much like, you know, I used just like a needle and pricked my finger and got out of that. But I mean, like,
I'm trying to think, nothing that would damage my house.
Yeah.
I
don't know that I can say I could go. I don't think I could do a ritual naked with a bunch of people either. Like, just like, I've done naked rituals in the privacy of my room or what have you.
I would have to get so much more confident in my body. And it's, I think for me, it's just totally my body. Like, I would have to get comfortable with that. But, because I don't see nudity as an issue, but I am very self-conscious about my body. So,
yeah.
Like, this is just for instance, I'm not saying that I want you to, but if you wanted to get naked out here and do a ritual, by all means you do it. I'm not going to get naked because I'm just like, I'm not comfortable with my body to be around others to do it.
I'm comfortable naked. I'm comfortable naked around other people.
I'm comfortable.
But I'm not comfortable naked around other people that I don't really know.
Okay, see, I'm comfortable naked when it comes to like sex.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm comfortable naked by myself. Other people, it's funny. And it's all about my confidence. It really is just all about my confidence.
I think it's mainly for me just that I'm not necessarily as trusting.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want there to be cameras about if this is like,
yeah, like,
no.
I mean, but that's probably it as far as things that I wouldn't, or off the top of my head.
Yeah.
What is something that you want to learn more about?
I would like to learn other languages so I could use spells in other languages. I feel like, to me, it would feel a little more powerful, have a little more oomph to it. Also, I would like to get more into brewing.
I'm kind of still wanting to learn and do more with astral. I feel like there's always more to learn.
Like, you wouldn't by any means consider yourself a master of astral projection.
No. Astrology's been a big thing. Want to definitely learn more of that. But from what I've been researching, a lot of astrology is very self-taught. There's not like, you don't go and it's not an exact science type thing. So,
my sister-in-law, her grandmother actually majored in astrology.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool. So, let's see. Next question, or is there anything else?
I'm pretty sure that's a good answer for it.
When performing kitchen witchcraft, do you bless your tools or do a ritual beforehand?
I consecrate my tools unless it's a spoon, just like a simple spoon.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's in the kitchen, like, if it's something I'm consuming, I just make sure it's clean. But if I'm using, like, certain, like my mortar and pestle, it's already been consecrated. And I cleanse it afterwards.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I feel a call to bless tools like that.
Well, I would say if it's designated for ritual use only.
If it's designated for ritual use only, yeah. But, no. I mean, I think there's certain things that are kind of like on their own.
Like, I don't have a frying pan specifically for
No.
kitchen witchery or anything
And
like that.
I'm probably not going to bless the frying pan. Like, I don't feel the calling. Or
If you do, though, go for it.
I mean, nothing's wrong if you do. I'm saying that I don't. I don't feel the need.
You.
I don't feel it, but...
What's the next question?
Next question.
We have a lot of questions.
Are you two in a coven together?
No.
No.
We're not even in a circle. It's like two solitaries combining. We're a pair?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what.
We're not, I mean, even
We're
if
a line.
I don't think that even if there were more people that we'd want to be in a coven. Like, we're very much like, we do our own thing. We help each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we do spells, we help each other and stuff.
We were in like a triangle at one point.
But it's kind of like an open triangle or open duo circle.
Well, like we do online rituals sometimes
Mm-hmm.
with people we know who live across the country.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I haven't felt a call to be in a coven like that.
No.
I would have to find the right people, and there'd have to be rules. It's just very organized, and I kind of don't like organized religion. That's part of it for me.
If there were people involved, I would feel the need to have rules about certain things. Just because I've had some bad experiences with group people before. So I would feel the need, but also not want to have too many rules. So it's kind of contradictory.
It is, and like a coven is almost like your second family.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be careful.
Yeah.
But that's all I would say about that.
So no.
For right now, no.
But we practice and do things together.
I'm open to becoming a member of a coven if I feel like I'm a right fit for that coven. I would say that.
Yeah. What are your favorite crystals?
Okay. I have quite a few. Definitely clear quartz as your fundamental basic. I think every witch who practices with crystals should have a clear quartz in their collection, if not several.
Mm-hmm.
I like amethyst. I'm really big on amethyst. And citrine because of Apollo, I feel. Citrine's very big to me. Labradorite will always be my favorite. It's just such a comforting crystal to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm big on tiger's eye. Like I said, I have a lot. I love tiger's eye and I love fluorite. I feel like if those were like my tops, like the ones I tend to gravitate towards the most. Now there's others I would love to own, but they cost so much. I will add opalite in there too, because I do love a lot of opalite. I have a lot of opalite.
My favorite is peacock ore. But fluorite and labradorite are pretty close behind that. I also really love amethyst, and there's a bunch that I really love.
You're not going to bring up the forest that you have?
Selenite, of course. I have a crap ton of selenite because there's really this powerful connection. I think those are my favorites. I could go on because I think each crystal is kind of special and unique for something.
We're by no means done collecting crystals.
No.
Like, guys, I have a whole cabinet over here.
I have a whole cabinet and...
Like, my cabinet's not filled up either. It's 2 shelves are filled up. And there's like 3 or 4 shelves in there still to go.
So anyway.
Excuse me.
Next question
This is such a good thing to show in the video. Oh my god, it was bothering me. Sorry.
Next question is favorite herbs.
Palo Santo, even though it's technically a wood and not a herb. I'm okay with sage. I'm not crazy about the way sage smells. I like the effect it does. I do feel the effects of sage. Rosemary smells good to me. Cinnamon. Lavender is really great. And of course, hibiscus. Like, we have a friend who calls us hibiscus whores.
Because we are.
We are.
If she was here, she would be like, you need help.
Right.
So, obviously hibiscus is on my
Yeah,
list too.
yeah.
I also really like Blue Lotus. That one's actually kind of a newer one that I have been using, and it's very good for astral. I will say, if you are going to try to make a tea with it, it is not the greatest tasting.
Nastiest tea in the world.
Like, you want only a little, and then you
just the petals at that
yeah,
too. Like,
you want only a little, and you want to definitely drown it out with something else.
hibiscus.
Yes, hibiscus. So, I like mugwort a lot.
I forgot about mugwort. I love
Mugwort
too.
is a really good go-to, I think. And mugwort is a good tea if you are having lady troubles.
It's a good pain relieving tea. I believe it's very good for pain.
It's a calming thing. Like, it's good for stuff. Lobelia. Lobelia. I like Lobelia.
It's tasty.
This is a good tasting herb. I feel like I am missing something off the top of my head. Calendula. I like calendula a lot. Which is marigold, if like you don't know the other name.
Marigold is great.
Yeah. So those are my favorite herbs. So there's a lot more questions, but
Our battery is dying because we're not filming on a traditional video camera, so
yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue this into a part 2. So look for that in the next week.
And until then, guys, stay magical as always.